Good day and welcome to AFD'S Academy. I am the instructor, Arthur Francis Deban. Today, we're going to be dealing with electronic configuration. We have two types of the electronic configuration, the KLMN method, where we deal with the first share, the second share, which is 8, first share being 2, second share is 8, the third share, and so on. But the second electronic configuration procedure, which is the SPDF, where we deal with the S element in the periodic table found in the left side of the periodic table, probably metals. The P are found on the right side of the periodic table. We have the D and the F, which are the transition metals and inner transition metals. So most times we find it difficult when it comes to this electronic configuration. Most of the students tend to want to memorize the process to know whether they can memorize probably the first 20 elements. Yes, it's possible that you can have it memorized. But what about when it gets to element like 50? How then are you going to memorize? It becomes challenging. So as a matter of urgency or of importance, I'm going to show us a short pathway in which we can get through to knowing this electronic configuration without that form of memorization. All we need to do or know is how to start the framework of our understanding, become expedient in this matter. So like I said, the SPDF here covers all the elements in the periodic table. The principle which I'm going to show you, if you use it religiously, you'll be able to get for all the elements in the periodic table, maybe except one or two rearrangement need to be done as time goes on, probably for the lanthanide and the actinide element, which has to be from 80 and above. So let's see, we have our let me put it this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This covers the 7 period in the periodic table. You know, we have 8 groups and 7 period. For us to have covered up to 7, you should know that all the elements in the periodic table in this sense will be covered. Then we have what we call the SPDF. Now, the S block, the P block, the D block, and the F block. So this also covers technically all the elements being metallic, non-metallic, the transition metals, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to begin. Let's start this way. We have 1S. In 2, you have 2S and 2P. In 3, we start with our 3S, 3P, and 3D. In 4, we have our 4S, 4P, 4D, and 4F. In 5, I have my 5S, 5P, 5D, and 5F. So, for 6, I have my 6X, 6P, and 6D. Then for 7, I have my 7X, 7P. So in this order, we're able to extrapolate the framework which will be able to give us the understanding on how to write all the electronic configuration. So I'm going to line it up this way in a serial order. So in this order now, I will now I can list them all out in this order. You come back, pick from here. So I have my 1X, I have my 2X, I have my 2P, I have 3S, I have 3P, I have 4S, I have 3D, I have 4P, and so on and so forth. In that order, we write them to the finish. Now, one thing is important, which we must know, is the S carries a maximum of 2. The P carries a maximum of 6. D10, F is 14. So, by that standard, there shouldn't be a case where in your X, you write 1x3. It's not. Done. If it is 2, you write 2. If it is 1, you write 1. But if it is 3, you take the next number over. Let's take, for example, neon. Neon is 10. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, 10. I will have it as 1x2, 2x2, 2p6. 6 plus 4 is 10. So the electronic configuration for neon will be that. Neon 10. Let's look at magnesium, which is 12. I will start from here, knowing that the highest of the S is 2. It shouldn't be more than that. So I have 1x2, 2x2, 2p6, that's 10. I have 3x2, 12. What if it is hydrogen? Hydrogen has atomic number 1. I will have 1x1. Because the maximum of x is 1. I mean, it's 2. But if I have 1, I can include the 1. But it shouldn't be anything less. So let's look at another element. Let's say fluorine or chlorine. Now, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. That is the 17th element. Now, being the 17th element, if you don't mind, I can take this out. By now, you should know how this is being done. Now, for the 17th element, I would say chlorine is 17. So I will start 1x2, 2x there, 2. The next one is 2p6, I have 10. 3x2, I have 12. 3p, what to give me 17? 12 plus 5. So now this becomes for chlorine. Now, since we say the maximum of P is 6, if it is 3, you put your 3. If it is whatever it is, you include it. And so on and so forth. And as such, we can also move down to calcium or potassium. Let's take potassium, for example. Potassium is 19. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium being 19. So we see here we have 1s2, 2x2, 2p6, I'm on P. Now 3x2, 10 plus 2, 12. 3p6, 18. 4x1, that's 19 for potassium. And calcium will be 4x2. And so on and so forth, down to the transition metals of zinc. Zinc is 30. We do the same thing by moving it this way. Now, zinc is 30. Zn is 30. I have my 1x2, 2x2, 2p6, 3x2, 3p6, 4x2. I'm left with, this is 20. I'm left with, this is where I am. Now I am in 3D. Now this is 3D 10, exactly 30. So if I want to count that, I have 10, 20, and 30. Zinc gives me 30. All right? Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, carbon, nickel, copper, zinc is 30. So if I have copper, which will be 29, I'll now have 9 replaced here. All right? And so on and so forth. So the electronic configuration has been able to give us an insight. The method which I use, the framework, is to make it easy for us to be able to catch the process of writing our electronic configuration without much challenges. Most students tend to want to memorize all of these. Well, sometimes because of the fact that you can't be perfect, you will make certain mistakes, and by that mistakes, you're going to fail. So how then do you go about it? Just memorize or understand the diagrammatic framework of the figurations. Then after which you can use that to get all your elements. And believe me, you can get as far as 100 elements, provided we have our periodic table completely lined up to the 7th period, which is the total in the periodic table. So this is just a simplified method which we use in elucidating or understanding our SPDF electronic configuration. And if you follow it to the letter, I believe you're going to be fine. If you find any challenge or challenges in the course of you learning this, you can reach out to me through the inbox, send it to the comment section, which I'm going to attend to it. And Francis, once again, if you have not subscribed, please do that, and like and share as required. Thank you, and do have a nice day.